Hi everyone, so welcome to the channel. So in this video we are going to discuss the problems related to the mean of group data. So already in the previous video we have discussed the concept related to this. So if you haven't gone through that concept, so please watch the previous video, then you will be getting a clarity related to this. Now in this video we are going to discuss the problems related to exercise 14.1 in APTS state textbook, right? So the first question, so what he has given: a survey was conducted by a group of students as the part of their environment awareness program, in which they collected the following data regarding the number of plants in 20 houses in a locality. So find the mean number of plants per house, right? So in this question, so number of plants and number of houses, so the two horizontal columns are given. So those horizontal columns we need to write them as vertical columns. Here number of plants, so clearly the first column is giving the class intervals, right? So class intervals, so clearly, so this is nothing but class interval. So first column is number of plants and the second column is number of houses. So here this number of houses is generally represented by Fi. So number of houses is Fi and this number of plants is the class intervals, so Ci. Okay, now writing down the values. So 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 12 to 14. So these are nothing but the number of plants and their corresponding values. So this is nothing but, so this is 1, next 2 to 4 is 2, 4 to 6 is 1, 6 to 8 is 5, 8 to 10 is 6, 10 to 12 is 2, 12 to 14 is 3. So these all are nothing but the number of houses. So to find out mean, so we need to get with the mid values. So mid values are nothing but the values of Xi. So how to find the mid values? Just take the average of 0 and 2. So what is the average of 0 and 2? 0 plus 2 by 2 is nothing but 1. Next, so what is the height of this class? So difference between two upper limits are difference between two consecutive lower limits. So what is the difference between 2 and 4? It is nothing but 2. So height is 2. So add 2 to this. Then I am going to give the mid values. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So no need of taking average of each and everything. Just add the class height to the first mid value what you have obtained. So you will be getting the remaining. If you want, you can check 2 plus 4, 6, 6 by 2 is 3, right? So likewise we are going to get it. Now since the values are smaller, so 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, since these values are smaller enough, so we can go by direct method, right? So what is direct method? So main formula, x bar is given by summation of Fi into Xi divided by summation of Fi. So we need, so how many columns are required? So 4 columns. So what is the fourth column? So Fi into Xi. So Fi into Xi means directly multiplying these two columns. So 1 1s are 1, next 2 3s are 6, so 1 5s are 5, 7 5s are 35, 6 9s are 54, 11 2s are 22, 13 3s are 39. So if you add all these, then I am going to have summation of Fi Xi. So you need to draw a table neatly. So here I am drawing a general table, right? So simple table I am drawing here. So in your notebook, or so when you write in exam, so you need to draw a table in a neat way, right? So you need to make use of scale and pencil. So the table looks like this, right? Now let us see this. So sigma Fi Xi, so summation of Fi Xi, directly add the values. 6 plus 1 7, 7 plus 5 12, 12 plus 5 17, 17 plus 4 21, 30, 32. So 3 is carried. So 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 2 8, 8 plus 5 13, 13 plus 3 16. So sigma Fi is 162. The same way sigma Fi value, so add these values. So how many houses he said? So he said 20, no? So directly this value is 20. Now directly substituting the values here. So 162 divided by 20. Now if I remove these two, this becomes 16.2 divided by 2. So which gives me 8.1. So it gives me 8.1. So what did he ask? Find the mean number of plants per house. So 8.1 plants per house. So this is nothing but my answer. So there are 8.1 plants per house. So likewise we can simply find out the mean of the group data. So here the values are smaller, so that's why we got answer in a simple way, right? So when values get bigger enough, then we need to go for the remaining two methods. So we'll be discussing one method after the other for each and every question. So based on that you can have a clear idea related to this, right? Next, moving on to the question number 2. If you observe daily wages in rupees, so class intervals are given 200 to 250. So how many workers are getting the wage from 200 to 250? 12 workers. 250 to 300, 14 workers. 300 to 350, 8 workers. 350 to 400, 6 workers. And 400 to 450, 10 workers, right? So find the mean daily wages of the workers of the factory by using an appropriate method. So in the question itself he said use appropriate method. So since the values are somewhat bigger, right? So when compared to 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, these are little bigger, right? So that's why we are going with the second method, so that you can understand the methods, and whatever the method you want you can apply, so no problem, right? So in this particular question, so I am going to apply the second method. So what is second method? Assumed mean method. So you will get a clarity related to assumed mean method in this question. So listen carefully. So this is horizontal number 1, horizontal number 2. So what we are going to do? So we are going to write them vertically. So first column daily wages, second column is number of workers. So how many columns we need for assumed mean method? So remember, so totally I need 5 columns. So I am going to work on that. So daily wages, next number of workers is represented by Fi. So second column is Fi. Next third column, so what is the third column? Mid values. So mid values is represented by Xi. So I am not writing mid values, simply I am representing Xi. Then finally what I am going to get? So next column is Di, no? So Di I need. So for that, first of all I am going to write down the values. So 200 to 250, 250 to 300, next 300 to 350, 350 to 400, next 400 to 450. So listen carefully so that you can easily understand and make number of problems. So 12, 14, 8, 6, 10. So clearly he has mentioned there are totally 50 workers. So this is nothing but summation of Fi is equal to 50. So if you want you can add it out. Next Xi. So Xi is nothing but, what is Xi here? So Xi is nothing but, so what is Xi? It is nothing but mid value, right? 200 plus 250. So what is the mid value of 200 and 250? Simply you can consider 225, because 200 plus 250 is 450. So half of 450 is 225. Next, what is the difference? 50, no? So difference is 50, so add just 50. So this becomes 275. Next, this is 325. This is 375. Next, this is 425. So directly I got the mid values. Next, I need to find out Di. So Di formula is Xi minus A. So in this method we are going to make use of assumed mean method, right? Since we are going to make use of assumed mean method, select any value from these, select any one of the values as A, and for that what I am going to do is I am going to consider this particular value 325 as A. So in that particular case A I am considering it as 325. So you can select 225 also, or you can select 375, or you can select 425. So whatever may be the value you select, so you will be doing the process and you will be getting the answer, same answer. Whatever the thing I get, the same answer you are going to get. But in the meanwhile process, so whatever the values that you get may change from person to person, right? So most of the cases, so take the middlemost value as A. So I suggest you to take the middlemost value as A, right? So if I consider this as A, then what is my value of di? So what is the value of di? So let us see. So di is equal to xi minus a, no? So for this particular situation, xi is nothing but 225. What is a? A is 325. So 225 minus 325 is nothing but minus 100. Next, clearly this becomes minus 50. This is 0. This is 50. This is 100. Right? So from this what I got? So xi minus a means, so this is xi minus a. So 225 minus 325 is minus 100. 275 minus 325 is minus 50. 325 minus 325 is 0. 375 minus 325 is 50. 425 minus 325 is 100. So from this what have you understood? So by considering the values, so we are going to get di values. Next, finally what I need to do? So I need to consider the value of fi into di. Fi into di means, so I need to multiply these two columns. Okay, don't multiply these two columns. Okay, then it will become wrong. Now let us see fi into di. 12 into minus 100. So you can directly multiply minus 1200. 14 into 5. So 14 into minus 50. So how can you multiply 14 5 sir? 70. So this becomes minus 700. 8 into 0 is 0. 6 into 50. 6 5 is 30. So 300. 10 into 100. So it becomes 1000. Now simplification will be easy, right? So 10 plus 3, 1300. So this is 1300. 1300 minus 1200 is 100. So 100 minus 700. So this gives me minus 600. So from this what I got? Sigma fi di is equal to minus 600. Right? Now finally, what is the formula? So mean is equal to a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. Now when I substitute the value, what is a here? So a I considered it as 325 plus summation of fi di. So it is nothing but minus 600 divided by 50. So this is within the bracket. So 0 0 gone. So in 5 table, so how many times you are going to get? 325. So here clearly minus. So 12 5 16, no? So minus 12. So 325 minus 12 is 313 rupees. So what is the mean average of the daily wages? It is nothing but 313 rupees. So likewise you can clearly, simply you can solve this particular problem. So in this particular table, so we are going to get 5 columns and we have used all the 5 columns clearly. I hope you have understood this. So once again I am going to recall this. So first of all, the given 2 horizontal columns we have represented as vertical columns. Next we have found the value of xi by taking the mid value of class interval. Next di is obtained by taking any value as a from the xi. Don't forget, from xi we need to select a. So some students, they will mistakenly take from fi. So that mistake you should not do, right? So you need to consider a from xi only. So do remember this. From the third column you need to select the value of a. Okay, next after that what we are going to get? So above the value of a you are going to get negative values, below a you are going to get positive values, and parallel to a you are going to get 0 always. Okay, after that this normal simplification. So you are going to get summation of fi di, you are going to get summation of fi, and finally you are going to substitute the formula. So mean is equal to a plus sigma fi di by sigma fi. In that, on substituting the values you are going to get the answer, right? So this is the second method, so which is very very important. Okay, next moving on to third question. So question number 3. So what he has given, the following distribution shows the daily pocket allowance of a children of a locality. The mean pocket allowance is rupees 18. So he has given mean. So mean allowance is 18 rupees. So mean is given here. find the missing frequency. So here if you observe, f is nothing but the missing frequency. So one frequency is missing, that frequency we need to find it out, right? So here if you observe the values 11, 13, 13, 15, 15, 17, 17, 19, so these are comparatively looking small. So since these are looking small, then we can go with the direct method, right? So after doing this method, for the next problem we will go for the step deviation method or the shortcut method, which is nothing but the third method. So in that I will explain how to solve, right? So first of all, so what he has given, daily allowance. So daily allowance is nothing but my class interval. So what are the things that are given? So 11 to 13, 13 to 15, 15 to 8, 15 to 17, 17 to 19, 19 to 21, 21 to 23, 23 to 25. So these are nothing but things that are given. Next he has given number of children. So number of children is nothing but fi. So from this what are the values? 7, 6, 9, 13, f, 5, 4. So this is the unknown which we need to find it out. Next what I need to take? xi. So xi is clearly so 12. So 11 plus 3, 24 by 2, 12. After that, so plus 2 I need to add. So 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Now finally, so what is the final column? fi into xi. That means I need to multiply these two. So 12 sevens are how much? 84. 14 sixes, so 6 fours 24. So this is also 84, right? Next 16 nines, how much? 144. So 9 6 are 54, 9 ones are 9, 144. Next 18 13s, so 18 10s are 180 plus 18 3 is 54. So 180 plus 54 is nothing but 234. Next this is nothing but 20f. Since this is multiplying with f, so we cannot directly add this. So 22 5s are, it is nothing but 110. 4 24s, it is 96. Now on adding, so what is sigma fi? So when you add sigma fi, so 7 plus 6 13, 13 plus 13 26, 26 plus 9 35, 40, 44. So this becomes 44 plus f. Next what about sigma fi xi? So sigma fi xi is nothing but, so 6 plus 4 10, 10 plus 4 14, 14 plus 4 18, 18 plus 4 22. So 2 is carried. 8 plus 2 10, 10 plus 8 18, 18 plus 4 22, 22 plus 3 25, 25 26, 35. So 35 means 3 is carried. 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 2 6, 7. So it is 752 plus 20f. So we should not add this 20f since it contains the variable, so we cannot directly add with the number, right? So 752 is my sigma. So 752 plus 20f is nothing but my sigma fi xi. So from this directly mean is equal to, what is the formula? Summation of fi xi by summation of fi. So from this clearly what is mean given? So mean is given as 18, right? So 18 is equal to 752 plus 20f divided by 44 plus f. So when I do cross multiplication, so 18 into 14. So when I multiply 18 into 44, so 44 18s, 8 4s are 32. So 3 is carried. 8 4s are 32, 35. So next 44. So this becomes 597. So this is nothing but 792 plus 18f is equal to 752 plus 20f. So when you bring the like terms to one side, then this becomes 2f is equal to 792 minus 752 is nothing but 40. So from this f is equal to 20. So the unknown frequency is nothing but 20, right? So using the simple frequency formula, so simple direct method, so we have found the value of f, right? Next moving on to one more question. So in this question, so we are going to represent you. So I am going to tell by shortcut method. which we call it as step deviation method, right? Since we did not do that method, so we are going to do in this particular problem. Okay, so you will understand clearly. Now first of all, what he has given, so for step deviation method, how many columns we need? So we need 6 columns. Just remember this, right? Number of heartbeats per minute, so which is nothing but my class interval. So to make my table smaller and simpler, I am going to consider it as class interval. But while you write in your notes, just remember whatever the things that are given, the same things you need to write. Okay, next, number of women, so this is nothing but Fi, right? Next, so write down the things. So 65 to 68, 68 to 71, 71 to 74, 74 to 77, 77 to 80, 80 to 83, 83 to 86, right? Now number of frequencies, so this is 2, 4, 3, 8, 7, 4, 2. So I am going to explain this by shortcut method or step deviation method, so understand carefully. So the third column is Xi, so Xi is normally 65 plus 68, so 65 plus 68, how much? So what will be the value? So it is nothing but 66.5, I think, right? So 65 plus 68 is 8 plus 5, 13, so 133. So 133 halves is 166.5. Now what is the difference? So difference is 3, so directly add 3, 69.5, 72.5, 70, 72 plus 3, 75.5, next 78.5, 81.5, 84.5. So these are nothing but the Xi values that I am going to obtain. Now among these, so choose one as A. So if you observe this, so how many observations we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So among those 7, take the middlemost. So take the middlemost as A. So not always the middlemost is taken as A. So sometimes if there are even number of observations, then how will you consider? So you can consider any one of the values as A. So there is no restriction that this particular value should be taken in it as A, right? Now 75.5 I have considered it as A, right? So based on that, so what is the deviation? So deviation is equal to Xi minus A. So correspondingly to this we are going to get 0 because Xi and A both are same here. Next, what is the difference? So difference is 3, no? So I am going to get minus 3, minus 6, minus 9. So this is simple way. You can easily understand. So likewise if you write, so you can easily understand, right? So from the center, so where you consider it as A, so this is 0, and above that you are going to get the differences in negatives, and below that you are going to get differences in positives. Okay, so differences in negatives and differences in positives. Next step is to find out Ui. So Ui is equal to Xi minus A by H, right? Xi minus A by H. So from this, what is the value of H? H is nothing but class height only, no? So class height is 3. Now we need to divide this with all these values with 3. Then what I am going to get? This is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now what is this method? So this method we called it as step deviation, no? Step deviation, right? So here deviations, if you observe, all are following one number after the other, right? So these are all following step by step. Minus 3, after minus 2, after that minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So that means they are following steps. So clearly from this we can understand that why we are calling this method as step deviation method, right? So you have understood the reason why this is called as step deviation method, right? Since the deviations will be forming steps. Okay, finally what we need to do? Fi into Ui. Fi into Ui. Fi is second column, Ui is last column. So multiply those two values. 2 into minus 3, minus 6. 4 into minus 2, minus 8. 3 into minus 1, minus 3. 8 into 0, 0. 7 into 1, 7. 4 into 2, 8. 2 into 3, 6. So on adding, summation of Fi Ui, So 6 minus 6 gets cancelled, minus 8 plus 8 gets cancelled, 7 minus 3 is 4. See, in the previous problems, what are the summations that we got? So we got bigger values, no? Here comparatively, what I got here, summation has become very small. Okay, the reason why we are considering a value at the center, now you can understand. For suppose, if I consider a value here, then what will happen? All the values that you are going, so here you are going to get 0, and after that whatever the value that you get, you all get positive values. So because of getting positive values, what will happen? So your sum will become bigger. If suppose if I consider a value here, that means here you are going to get 0 and remaining all the values are negatives. So from there also you are going to get more negative value, right? So from this clearly you can understand why I am considering a value at the center, right? Now sigma fi ui is 4. Sigma fi, so how many people are given here? So it did not mention any value, so we need to add this. So sigma fi, so 2 plus 4 6, 6 plus 3 9, 9 plus 8 17, 24, 28, 30. So this value is 30. So sigma fi is 30. So finally finding out the mean. So what is the formula of mean? So mean is equal to a plus sigma fi ui by sigma fi into h. So always do remember, in shortcut method one extra thing will be, that is nothing but into h, right? So what is the assumed mean method we have taken? So assumed mean what we have taken here, 75.5 plus sigma fi is 4 by 30 into what is the height? So height is nothing but 3. So 3 in 30 it goes 10 times, so 4 by 10. So this becomes 75.5 plus 4 by 10. So 4 by 10 means 0.4, right? So if you add this, this becomes 75.9. So 75.9 is nothing but my answer. So the mean heartbeats, not beats, so heartbeats per minute of women is 75.9 heartbeats per minute. Okay, so this is nothing but my answer using the shortcut method. So have you understood? So how simple it is? So in shortcut method, so you are going to have the value will become smaller and smaller. Okay, now moving on to one more question. So what he has given, so in a retail market, so there are some baskets are given, so oranges, and so he is asking which method of finding the mean did you choose. So after simplifying this, so he is asking, so which method you have choose. So which method we should apply here? So which method do you feel easy? So clearly you can say that the step deviation method is easy, right? So you can choose any method, so no problem. But if he mentions to do in a particular method, so you need to follow that method. Okay, if he gives as our choice, then that's our wish. Okay, you can follow any of the methods. So we'll be doing this by shortcut method. So first one is class intervals, that is number of oranges. Next frequencies, that is nothing but number of baskets. Next after that we are going to have the mid values. So after mid values what we are going to have? Deviations. So deviation is equal to xi minus a, and finally we are going to have ui. So ui is nothing but di by h, and finally fi into ui. So these are nothing but the 6 columns which we need to fill. So what are all the things that are given? 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34. So here if you observe all the classes, so these classes are exclusive classes. These classes are exclusive classes. So when exclusive classes are given, so there is no need of changing these exclusive classes into inclusive classes to find out mean, because mean is completely based on the mid values, so there is no need to change, right? So 15, 110, 135, 115 and 25. What is xi value? 10 plus 14, 24, 24 by 2, it is nothing but 12. What is the height? So 14 and 19, height is 5. So h is equal to 5 here. So add 5. So 12 plus 5, 17, 22, 27, 32. Next, deviation. So consider this middle one as a. Then this becomes 0, and taking the differences minus 5, this is minus 10, this is plus 5, plus 10. Are you understanding? So since a is 22, so what is di? Xi minus a. So this itself is xi, this itself is a. So which gives me 0. Next, xi minus 17 minus 22 is minus 5, 12 minus 22 is minus 10. So likewise, next ui. So ui means you need to divide with 5. So 5 means, so minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So this is the step deviation. So deviations are all in the form of steps. So directly multiplying. So 15 into minus 2, minus 30. So while multiplying, so be careful. You need to multiply with fi. So second column you should multiply with this ui column. So if you want, you can make use of your fingers. Okay, so make use of your fingers and multiply. Otherwise, so hide these two columns by using any book or paper and move on multiplication. So this becomes minus 110, 135 into 0. Next, 115, 25 2s are 50. Now simplification. 115 minus 110 is nothing but 5. So that 5 you keep aside. 50 minus 30 is 20. So totally sigma fi ui is 25. Next, what about sigma fi? So sigma fi is equal to, so 100, 100, 200, 300, 310, 325, 330, 360, 360, 375, 400. Right? So what is the answer? So here sum is 400. Okay. So once again, if you check, so 5 plus 5, 10, 15, 20. So 2 is carried. So 2 to 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. So 1 is carried. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So sigma fi is 400. Now finally, mean formula is, so what is the mean formula? A plus sigma fi ui by sigma fi into h. Remember this h. Don't forget that. So from this, what I am going to get? 22 plus sigma fi ui is 25 by sigma fi is 400 into 5. Now from this, what I am going to get? So 25 4s are 100. 25 4s are 100. So that means this is 16. So this gives me 22 plus 5 by 16. So 5 by 16 means how much? So divide with this. So what I am going to get? 16. This becomes 50. So 0.3 times 48. So this gives me 20. So 20 means 16 ones are 16. Again we are going to get 4. So 40. So 16 2s 32. 32. So then I am going to get 80. 16 5s are 80. So the answer is 22 plus 0.3125. Since 16 is 2 power 4, which is terminating decimal, so this gives me 22.3125 oranges per basket, right? So 22.3125, and is asking which method of finding the mean did you choose. So I chose the step deviation method, so that I am going to write as the conclusion. Okay, thank you for watching the video. So in the next video we are going to discuss the remaining 4 problems of this particular exercise, right? So thank you for watching. Stay connected with the channel.